In this video, we're going to take this image from this to this using just one program, which is Kumoo. Edit faster. I'm going to show you how in this video. I'm just going to make a couple of pointers about Kumoo that needs fixing. And if you're listening to this, guys, listen up closely. Right, okay, so if you're using raw files with this software, it doesn't resolve the image acceptable. As you can see here on this image, it's a raw file, as we can see here. And I've noticed this on, any raw that I put into this software. It can't render. So if we're working on eye areas or the face, we can't really see what's going on. Now, Evoto does a better job. That's no problem with that. We can turn that one off now. I've shown you how that looks. Now, this software is over 2 years old, and it's still one of my favorites, which is Portrait Pro. Now, this, again, renders it no problem. We'll turn that one off. We don't want to save the changes. And Photoshop, obviously, does a perfect job of rendering the image as well. Now guys, Kumoo, unacceptable in 2025 to have an image that is still doing that. Now if I use it in JPEG format, as you can see here, perfectly fine, we can work. But RAWs, I can't work with the RAWs. Now it's not just this file. If I put any RAW in, it just looks blurred. Now the picture isn't blurred, and so this isn't acceptable. Anyway, we'll go back to the JPEG, and we're going to do a full edit on this image here. Now, Kumoo is one of the up-and-coming AI software editing packages, trying to rival software by Evoto. It's got a long way to go, but, it can still do a good job, as I will show you now. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the lighting just how I want it on this image. So we're going to go into the color adjustment, and we're going to bring the exposure down just a little bit on the background, and I'm going to change, we'll go to global, sorry, and then we're going to go into not the filters one, where are we at, the tone, there we go. I'm just going to bring the exposure down on the image just a little bit as well. Now they've got an AI tone in here. Let me just see what that does. Didn't really do anything. Oh, intensity, there we go. Anyway, we'll turn that off. I'm not going to be using the AI one. Right, okay, so we've got the exposure down to how we want. Now I just want to get those greens popping just a little bit more, so we're going to go into saturation and then bring the green up just to probably 80. Yeah, we'll go to 80% on the green, and we've got the jumper popping. Now a few creases here, we can just sort them out lightly. I don't want to go too crazy, so we'll bring that up to the 40 mark just to clean that top up. And no, we're still not getting much there, so let's go a little bit higher. There we go. We've just got rid of those creases to a more acceptable level. Now the next thing I want to do, I want to go for like a blue background, so let me just try that one. That is looking nice for me. And can I add a bit of a vignette as well? Color grading, is it in there? No, I'm sure they had a, is it in the curves? No, I'm sure they had a vignette in here. Now that's strange. Oh, global. Right, there we go. There's a vignette. So I want a little bit of a vignette on the outside of this picture. let's go to probably there. Do we want it a little bit darker? About there, I think. A little bit of a vignette going on. Now, second thing with the vignette is the midpoint. Let's bring the midpoint back a little bit. And I'm quite happy with that. Now, like I said, this software is doing a good job. It does need a few more things added in my opinion. Hopefully, as it progresses, they will start adding more features. Right, okay, so we're going to go to the makeup protection and we'll click on that one here, and then we're going to just go probably around the 46 mark for the acne. It's processing. We don't want to go too crazy. How's the acne doing? We're just going to go a little bit higher. And I think we will leave it there. Again, we're not going too crazy with this image. Body blemishes, we're not going to have any of them. Forehead wrinkles, nope. Dark circles, let's just tidy those up. And that's done an amazing job on the circles. Maybe not as intense. 60% mark. We can do a compare if we want to. I think we will go on a compare one. As you can see here, you can see exactly what we're doing. And it looks better, I think. Okay, so forehead wrinkles we haven't got. Wrinkles around the eyes. We're just going to go around about the 22% on that one. Cheek lines, nothing. Smile lines, nothing. Lip lines. Now the lip lines, I think that is going to be the... yeah, on there. Now, I don't mind the cracked lip look. More natural, so we're just going to bring that down just a little bit more. Keep it around the 27, 29% mark. We haven't got a double chin. Net wrinkles, none of these do apply to this one. Now, it's got a face defocus repair. Let me just try that. Does it do anything? No. Maybe on an out of focus picture it would. So far we're looking good. We've gone for the background change. We've made the colours pop on the jumper. And we remove some of the wrinkles out the clothes. And again, we don't have to go too crazy. We're keeping it fairly natural on this one. So we're going to go to skin. And we're going to go to neutral grey contour. I think around the 60%. Skin refinements, what does that one do? Some of them you can't really see what it does on some pictures. Now we're going to go for frequency separation on the face just to get some of those details back. And we're just going to add a little bit of the texture back into the skin. Now the AI retouch on the face, I don't know why these people add these things in, because it just makes everything look so unnatural. Again, one of the features they've got is the skin brightness, because in the Asian countries they do like skin looking as light and as white as possible. So this sort of feature, it's more for those sort of countries. And then we've got a skin whiten as well, because they like the white looks. But it looks terrible, and I don't know why they do it. Okay, rosy cheeks, or a rosy look. Again, we're not going to use any of those. We're trying to keep it as natural as possible. I'm going to bring that smoothing down. We don't want to go too crazy on the smoothing. Okay, so then we've got these skin tones here. We're just going to leave that one alone as well. Plump. Now these ones, again, some of these features, I just don't know why they're adding them. Anyway, they're in there. I don't need them. So we're going to go with a 3D. Just adjust the face in the direction. Let me just go, I just want to go down a little bit with the head positioning. And then, do we want to move those eyebrows up just a little bit? Now the thickness of this one is a little bit different to that one, so we're going to unclick this and then thicken that one up just so it's matching. We do need a little bit more darkness on those eyebrows as well. We're going to go into the eye one, and then let's get the eyes just a little bit wider, not too much. And then I will leave that there. Eyelids. Now again, some of these features would be more for the Asian markets, so we don't need to use them. Right, hair parting. We haven't got anything that we can do on the hair there, and we don't need to soften the hair. Now again, we can change the colors, but they've gone the same route as Evoto, and then they put the intensity. We want to start there and then build on it, and we can see blue hair. My cat's crying in the background if you can hear it. Again, the hair colors, they just don't seem to work on any software. That's only my opinion. You may have a different opinion. Right, okay, so we're going to brighten the eyes up as well. Again, if you go too far, they look crazy. So we'll go around the 50% mark, just under. And we can carry on moving on. Now we're nearly at the bottom of this edit now. Again, fairly quick. We don't need any of them up there. Okay, so the last one we're going to go in for is the where are we at? The makeup section. Again, I did mention a minute ago we needed to enhance them eyebrows. They're just a little bit on the faded on that picture. So we're going to enhance them. Let's go all the way. And we're going to bring that back down. Now this picture again, it's just looking a little bit, it's not as sharp as it should look. The output will be fine, but at the moment it just doesn't give me that ability to edit those little imperfections that I might want to do. But yeah, we're going to do a good job. So let's go on to the eye makeup section, enhance it. If we go all the way up, how much of a difference does it make? Not much. Okay, shadows. So if you go with the shadows slider, you're going to get a little bit more depth to the face, you know, more of a 3D look around here. I might just adjust this chin as well before we finish off. Enhance lip makeup. We're going to go halfway. Just add a little bit more of a red tinge to the lip, which I think will eyeshadow, sorry. I'm going to go with a little bit of eyeshadow as well. Again, not enough colours. Evoto eventually went with more colours, probably after looking at my videos. So there's not enough colours in here. We'll go with, don't like that one. We'll go with that one, a little bit more intensity. And then eyeliner, we're going to get those eyes popping. So we'll go with that one there. Again, we've got a few colours, but not enough. Not enough. Only my opinion. Contacts, we don't need. Again, the colours, the contact colours, they need to add more. There's not enough blues, etc. Anyway, what's that one? Eye smiles, we don't need that one. Blush, we're going to add a little bit of blush to the face. We want to go with something just on the cheek area, too much. So we'll bring that right down. Contouring, again, a little bit like the depth we were talking about a second ago. We're going to add a little bit more depth to the face. So she has got that polished Vogue look. And then highlighter, lip gloss. We've got a lip colour on there, but do we need to change it? Let me just try that one. No. No. Lipsticks aren't working as well as they should do. I'm going to leave it how it was. Now the eyelashes we're going to finish off with. Let's go for a bold one. We'll go for that one. Now again, Evoto's just added more features. You can adjust the top and bottom, which was a good shout from them. Now that face is just bugging me there, so we're going to do that liquefy just quickly. Let's just bring that down to about there. We're just going to pull that face out. The hair is just squashed into the face just a little bit too much for my liking. Make it a little bit bigger. We can drag it all out at the same time. And we'll bring that side down as well. We're going to make this hat just a little bit bigger as well. There we go. Confirm. Back to the image. And then we've got the makeup one. Again, presets we're not going to use. We've just added everything we wanted to. I might just go a little bit bolder with those eyelashes. That's the biggest one they do. What's that one like? Yeah, we can't see them. So we're going to go for that one all the way up. Now, the last one we can do is a little bit of a body transformation. We've got model look, natural. We'll go with the model one. Head size is fine. The waist, let me just see if we can adjust the waist a little bit more. No, it's just not doing anything there. Neck's fine. We're going to leave the neck, elegant neck. What does that one do? Again, nothing. Toned shoulders. Again, doesn't really work. Shoulder width. I think the shoulder width one, I'm going to adjust that as well, I think. We don't want to adjust any of these areas. Again, slimming down the arms. Hunchback. What does that one do? Belly area. We can just bring that in actually a little bit. Height of the model. We're going to go with that one now. I'm just going to push this in as well. Again, we're trying to do a full edit with this software instead of using the likes of Photoshop, etc. Bring that a little bit smaller. Push that in. Push that bit in there. Push that in. Push that in. And I'm going to leave it there. So there's a quick edit in Kumoo for you. We're giving it that more of a bold Vogue look. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Okay guys, see you in the next video.